Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Be Lucky podcast, your free podcast for Saturday's racing at Goodwood and at Newmarket. Now, the one thing we need to discuss quickly is that the heavens have opened on Thursday at Goodwood. So it's going to be tricky, it's going to be testing, and it's due to dry on Friday and due to dry on Saturday. So it could be really tacky, dead, hard work ground. Now, what I normally do when this happens is I normally look for something that's really going to stay. I don't want something that's just going to be able to quicken. I want something that's really going to be able to stay. So we're going to kick off and we're going to run through the card at Goodwood and then head over to Newmarket. So we'll start at Goodwood in the 120 Coral Glorious Stakes. 56 grand to the winner here, guys. 56 grand to the winner, over a mile 4. Al-Azi heads the market for William Haggis and Jim Crowley, 15 to 8. These are the best prices. They may differ from when you come to watch this. Candleford, 6 to 1 for William Haggis. William Haggis, top 2 in the market here. A 7 and 8 year old. Maidan, who loves Goodwood, 6 to 1. Mount Atlas, 13 to 2. Probably needs to improve his form to be competitive here. 8 to 1 is Ambient Friendly. And Arabian Crown, 8 to 1. And 50 to 1 the outsider, Raja. Start at the top, Al-Azi, a good winner at Goodwood previously, is now an 8-year-old, but is still a classy 8-year-old, right? Has done very little wrong in his career. He's just a lovable horse. The ground shouldn't be too much of an issue for him, but you know, I do think he can be vulnerable to a race that doesn't play out to how he needs it to unfold. He's going to sit, he's going to pounce, and if you've got something that's going to wind it up from the front, I think he could be a little bit vulnerable. So 15 to 8 for me, I think is a little bit shy of what I'd want. Candleford, I don't think he beat an awful lot last time. He recorded an RPR of 100. He beat Carmology at Beverley. Still a step back in the right direction. He won't mind conditions, but not for me. I want to look away from that. Maidan's going to be a very popular horse this week. He's a Goodwood specialist. Ryan Moore's on. But again, if it's soft, I think he's got questions to answer. And while he's got a great record here, that's fantastic. I just think if the ground is not in his favour, I don't know, maybe he's worth taking on. Look, I like Arabian Crown. He's 8 to 1, second outsider of the field. I think he took a step back in the right direction last time at Newmarket. It was a race that turned into a little bit of a dash. I don't think that suits him. I don't think fast ground suits him. I think he wants a bit of cut in the ground. The last time he was on genuinely soft ground was at Newmarket when he won a Group 3. Beating a couple of rivals, but previous to that, it was cutting the ground at Salisbury when he won. It was cutting the ground at Sandown when he won that classic trial, and he's been working his way back to form. He had a year off the track. He's taken 3 runs to get going. This is the first time William Buick is re-partnering with him, and I think he's going to go from the front. I think he's going to try and dictate, and I want to be on Arabian Crown because I do think he's got more upside to his profile than some of these, and Arabian Crown is the one for me to kick us off with a winner in that 120. The 155, the Coral Summer Handicap. 50 grand to the winner here. 50 grand. 1 mile 6. French Duke heads the market. 4 to 1. Been safe for this meeting since his reappearance. 8th behind Ethical Diamond. I'm not entirely convinced he wants this trip, but I could be wrong. Aeronautic is second fav. Joseph O'Brien already had a winner this week at Glorious Goodwood. Colin Keane takes the ride, 13 to 2. Sam Hawkins, who's looking for a treble for William Haggis, 7 to 1. Dancing in Paris, pretty solid is Dancing in Paris, 10 to 1. Master Builder will probably like conditions, 10 to 1. Daraji, 11s. Wonder Legend off top weight, 9 stone 12, carrying 9 stone 12, mark of 108, 14 to 1. Barnzo, 16 to 1, who finished ahead of Oronatic at Royal Ascot, so he looks a little bit overpriced. Hallelujah, you 16 to 1, 16 to 1, bigger the rest. Couple I like in here. Subsequent, I think, is very interesting back on soft ground. They had a Goodwood Cup entry for this horse, which may have been a bit speculative, but these are his conditions, and he will stay, and he will probably run well. He is a horse that was on the upward curve last year. It took a little bit time to come back to himself, didn't come out until July, but a 16 to 1 on David Probert could go very well. But the horse I'm going to back is Frying Madness for Ralph Beckett, the outsider of the entire field. And this horse, for me, I think, needs to get back on soft ground, or it needs to get back on less quick ground. Does that even fucking make sense? Less He needs to get back on a less testing service. No, that doesn't even make sense. Anyway, but hopefully it's soft enough for him on Saturday. He ran really nicely, I thought, behind Max Vega at Newbury in April and he's in October at the back end of last year on deep ground. That came after 186 days off and a gelding operation, so he probably just needed it. His 2 wins as a 2-year-old came on deep ground, and he's been running fairly well, I think, on fast ground. The last twice at Ascot. The trip, I don't think, suited him. 2 mile 4 at Ascot. He's beaten 6 lengths by ascending, but he was posted wide and further back than ideal. I just think these conditions will really suit him. Back down to a mile 6 on soft ground. I think this is what he wants, and I think he's a horse with a big pot in him. And I'm keen to take a chance at 33-1. So I do like him. At the 2:30, the Lily Langtry Stakes, I don't have a strong opinion. I'll read the market for you. It's a mile 6, 170 grand to the winner here. Goody 2 Shoes for Joseph O'Brien, William Buick, 7-2. Term of Endearment, 4-1. Sueno, 7-1. Woodar, who has looked good and then looked terrible at times, 3-year-old for Aaron Burrows, 8-1. Serenity Prayer, 10-1. Danielle making a seasonal return, 12-1. Royal Entry, 16-1. Alonzi, 18-1. And Oxford Comma also making her seasonal debut, 33-1. Another Ralph Beckett outsider. I don't have a strong opinion in this race. I thought Sueno was probably the most interesting at 7-1. I do like Danielle, but that seasonal return just does put me off just slightly. Maybe they're looking at York with her, where she's gone well before. Sueno could be the one. She has run this course very nicely 3 starts ago when behind at Sahar, and I don't think she'll mind conditions at all. Look, it's a tricky race. It would be no bet for me. The 305, the Stewards Cup. Now, a lot of people are going to listen to this for a Stewards Cup selection, but I am not having a bet in the Stewards Cup, okay? There'll be so many podcasts out there that'll be saying, oh, who'd you fancy in the Stewards? Come on, you can have 3 darts. You can have 4. We're just fucking guessing. Scott, sorry about the language. We're just guessing. This, as far as I'm concerned, is a bit of a lottery. I don't want to be wasting my money in races like this when I think that there are stronger bets to have at equally the same price in smaller fields where I can get a good handle on everything that's going to happen. In this Stewards Cup, the draw is entirely unknown. It's normally favoured the high numbers, but with the rain that could just scupper everything, they're saying it's riding quicker on the far side of the track, on the low numbers, but who knows come Saturday. I don't have a strong enough opinion in here to be giving you selections in a 28 runner sprint handicap. That is not the way I make money. So I don't expect you to expect me to give you some selections in here. If you want one at a wild price that I would maybe take a chance on, if the ground is still testing, it'd be The Dream at a massive price for Charles Fellows. Just because these are her conditions. This is exactly what she wants. This race normally goes to an older horse. But that's about it. It would be a shot in the dark. The 3:45, the Whispering Angel handicap, is a better race to get involved in. 38 grand to the winner here. Yamal Be There heads the market. It's over 7 furlongs. 6-1 for Richard Spencer. Mud Beer for John and Daly Gosden. 13-2. Consolidation. 8-1. El Matador. 11-1. Montpellier 16-1, Rare Change 16-1, Dance in the Storm 20-1, Miami Matrix 20-1, Pelletry 20-1, Headmaster 22-1, and Bigger the rest. A really competitive handicap, a really decent handicap. A lot of horses in here that are worth a mention. Dance in the Storm is a horse I think has got loads in hand of the handicapper. I think she could be at least £10 well in when she gets ideal conditions. She's from that brilliant family that we all seem to know loads about because we've all followed these horses for years. Dancing Star, Foxtrot Lady. She's the daughter of Night of Thunder. But I don't think that her pedigree says anything that like she wants any sort of soft ground. So I'll be monitoring the ground there. If it's good come Saturday, I think I'd be having taken a chance on her. She needs to settle. She can be so keen in her races, and she may well turn out to be a sprinter. But this is a really talented horse for Andrew Baldwin, and I am looking forward to seeing how she gets on. But El Matador will be the number 1 pick, simply on the basis that I don't think Dance in the Storm is going to run. El Matador, I think, is a well-handicapped horse. An opening mark of 92 does look a little bit stiff, but almost fell over when coming out of the stalls at Salisbury to beat the 88-rated C. Baid. It's gone on again to win at Chepstow. I think a bit of dig in the ground will help. It's going to stay further than this. Stall 12, Hector Crouch on. Think this is a nice horse. Now, a lot of these are not going to handle soft ground. Definitely worth you going through and having a good look at who you think will handle the ground here and checking that ground right up until race time if you have the ability to do that. Switching over to Newmarket, where it is predominantly good ground. I don't have any opinion in the 210, so I will not waste your time there with that. We'll move straight to the 320, where I think there's a bet. The bet is going to come in a second. This is over a mile 4. This is 28 grand to the winner. Silent Love heads to market. Charlie Appleby, Billy Lockdown taking the ride. Not a Goodwood's day on Saturday. Going to take the ride for Charlie Appleby here. 7-2. Soy Life 7-2. 107 rated. Shown nothing in 2 starts this season. Carmology 5-1. Jane Temple 7-1. Mary Bella 8-1. Bower Chalk 10-1. Crystal Flyer 12-1 and 14-1. Star of Light. I think the betting here is the outsider of the entire field. That's Star of Light. Tyler Hurd is in the saddle, but rode last time and rode really well last time at Newbury to win. She has been clueless in starts previous to her Newbury win last time. They put cheek piece on her on a penultimate start and at Newbury. They stay on here. I think there's loads more to come. She went off joint favourite with Jane Temple at Kempton back in May. She had 2 quick runs this season, April and May, and I think they were looking at sort of handicaps with her to try and get some experience into her, if nothing else, to be honest. But she really knuckled down at Newbury last time. I thought that was a massive step forward, and I think she's going to go from the front, and I think she'll be hard to beat because she is a relentless galloper, and I think she will be tough to beat. I think 14-1 is a bit of an insulting price. She's a 3-year-old. She gets £10 from her elders in this race, and for me, I think she'll have a cracking chance at around 14-1 in that 320 at Newmarket. That actually would be the nap of the day. Star of Light in the 320. It's a really, really good day's racing, as it always is every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, everybody, be lucky.